Mickey, what's important to know is Hamo, despite being a comedian, doesn't know how to use a microphone. It'll move around. He'll breathe into it. He'll suck on it. It'll be weird. But just try not to let it bother you.
That's all right. I'm yeah.
You seem like a fairly uptight fella. You know?
I really am.
In my experience hanging out with you,
I'm straight-laced.
Just deeply upset. I'd also like to apologize for the fact that I'm wearing my own T-shirt right now. This isn't because I'm doing a podcast with me on it.
Dude, I've never seen you not wear your own T-shirt. I mean, if you were wearing someone else's T-shirt, that would be a fucking weird.
That is true.
I've got one of your shirts that you gifted me that I wear sometimes.
That's nice. Yeah, I mean, look.
Not out in public, but just at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
I almost bought one of the red Adidas jackets in Rebel Sport a few weeks ago, but it was a medium, and I was like, that's...
What, you're going to do it as a gag?
Yeah, I was just going to wear it.
That's aspirational. A medium. I mean, yeah, I don't actually get any money for that. I don't know. Just want to put that out there.
Neither do the kids in the sweatshops, but I like to give something.
Yeah, no, just like I had like my laundry in one hand, this shirt on, and I was like at a cafe with like exclusively lawyers and like executives across the street earlier, and they're just clearly looking at me being like, this guy has fucked it. Like this is some of the worst clock management I've ever seen.
I think it's a great brand, to be honest. Just
This guy, this fucking guy, check me out. But yeah, no, it's just, it feels bad. I've done it on a plane before. And like they walk past you in the aisle and they see you wearing your own clothes. So they're just looking at you like, what happened here?
Yeah, have you ever had anyone ask you the question? Like, are you wearing a shirt of yourself?
No, I think the person wearing a shirt of themselves is not someone you want to talk to.
Yeah.
So despite your curiosity, you're like, fuck that.
It does scream, do not approach.
As does the red tracksuit and moustache. I've got a lot of red flags, man. And I wear them proudly. But it's nice. It's nice to have you here, Micky Bartlett. For anyone who's like, being like, where the fuck is Tom Witcombe? He's gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he died.
Oh man,
it's tough.
Yeah,
I just bought one of his T-shirts too.
What story are we running with? He's dead. I thought he was at the International Rare Scarf Convention.
The Rare Scarf Convention. Where do they hold that?
Is that just like...
I'm not a guy. I'm not a scarf guy. I didn't look into it.
It's just a bunch of empty stalls.
This is how rare these scarves are. I can't fucking buy one. I can't find one anywhere. No, we're just trying to figure out, like, because, you know, he's not here, and we're just trying to figure out what's the most embarrassing place for him to be. I believe Hamo with the Rare Scarf Convention there was implying that he's a wanker. Is that... Got him.
Well, he goes to Waratahs games. We know that they wear scarves there.
Wear scarves there, that's true. That's rugby union.
I don't know what that means.
I was going to say, does Northern Ireland get around rugby union at all?
Nah, we're still trying to deal with Protestants. It's weird. I was talking to someone recently. We weren't allowed to play rugby in school because they thought it was a Protestant sport when I went to Catholic school.
Bullshit.
Swear, honestly, so we never played it.
So what sports did you play?
It was just soccer and like Gaelic football.
Wow.
And then there was one day they let us play hurling. Have you ever seen that? It's like
hurling's great.
Yeah, they let us play it one day, but the teacher forgot the ball. So we went back into school to get the ball, and we had one helmet and 15 bats, and we just took turns just fucking... like, we just got the dumbest guy in class. Like, put that on, see if this hurts. Like,
what is hurling?
It's kind of like hockey, like in the air. Is that the best way?
It's like, it's hockey with it's hockey, but aggressive.
Yeah. Kind of like lacrosse without a net.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So I heard someone describe it. It's like 32 chimps trying to play golf with one ball.
Sick.
Did you used to play it?
No, I never played it. It's too gnarly. Like I think my granddad played it, and I remember like his shins were just cut to pieces, like because you're just getting fucking battered.
And is there any like protective gear? No helmet. Oh, the one helmet.
I think some people wear helmets now. It used to be the ladies' version. They wore helmets. But the dudes were like, I'm not wearing a fucking helmet now. What am I, gay? Fuck that.
The game's gone soft.
I remember when hurling was a real sport. It's like, I can't understand you. Oh, yeah, my jaw's permanently broken.
Yeah. Used to play this with guns and grenades. What the fuck happened? These fucking vegans.
Okay, well, I didn't realize because, like, the Irish, like, is Republic of Ireland, they play rugby. They're very good at it.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of them Catholic. Like, I haven't run the numbers.
I think it might be different now, but like, I had no idea rugby was even that popular a sport when I was a kid because we just didn't see it. And I sucked at soccer and Gaelic as well. I would think I would have been pretty good at rugby, So I'm built like a staffy. Can't break my neck. I don't have one. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, you are front row forward. Lock it in. 100%.
I see videos of you on social media boxing. Have you boxed for a long time?
No,
No,
clearly.
it's a new thing.
Yeah, so we did a comedian's charity boxing last year.
Yeah.
Back in Belfast, and we decided to do another one, and I got called out by another comic, and it's not until June I was like, I'm hitting the fucking gym early. Like,
Was it like a recorded video that he posted up, like, I'm calling you out?
not even, but it was way more intense. We're in a green room right before a gig, and he just gave me.
He did it live.
He just like to my
Like
fucking
private.
face, yeah. And he just right. He's like, me and you next one, and I'm like, yeah, because it was fun. I was like, yeah, it'll be good fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you reckon you can handle it? And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
You reckon you can handle it? Is it like, are the bouts announced? Like, did you say which one it is? Or?
It hasn't gone out yet.
Oh, okay.
But it's a guy, Paddy McDonald. I think we're fighting.
Paddy the Dagger?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Fun.
I'll tell you off air about my whole game plan. It's fucking great. I'm going to get in his head.
Did you say Paddy the who?
Paddy the Dagger.
That's his name?
That's his
Yeah.
nickname, yeah.
Oh my God, you're fighting Paddy the Dagger?
Yeah. Yeah, but they call me Mickey the Pistol. That's what happens when you bring a dagger to a gunfight, bro.
This is part of the promo work.
Yeah, that's it.
Getting out there early.
It sells itself.
That's actually all the promo work. That was it.
Just constantly bringing up guns.
So how long ago was the first fight you had?
Last February.
Yep. And how did that go?
Oh, dude, I battered him. Like the guy was, but it was
3 2-minute rounds?
3 90-second rounds, but the last round got wrapped up in a minute. Oos. But it was a weird thing because we just did it for a bit of fun, and then it was like, you know, what comedians are like the length of time it took for everyone just to get dead serious and competitive was. So the guy was fighting. We're really good friends, and on the night that we decided like who was fighting who, he gave me like a Terminator look, and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker, he wants to go. All right.
Yeah.
And then we didn't do that much training. We had about 8 weeks before it started. So everyone turned up. I fucking thought I had a broken rib. One of the girls had a broken nose. She was still fighting. Like, but the fucking best thing I've ever done. Really, really good. Just really good fun.
Why did everybody have these injuries heading in? Like,
We didn't train enough, so we were like, because we only had 8 weeks, we were like, right, let's just fucking go. And no one was fit enough. It's just a bunch of alcoholics with fucking like different issues and like cunts with Crohn's and gout and like everyone's fucked. So we just started sparring, and it's like, oh, it turns out you have to like build up to that.
Yeah. But even with sparring, like, because I did a similar thing in Sydney a few years ago, it's called corporate fighter. It's like a white collar boxing thing. You train for like 13 weeks and then you have a fight at the Hilton in front of all your friends and family.
Wait,
and they
you
sell
did
tickets.
one of those?
Yeah, I did one of those.
Oh, man.
I won 2.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go,
Fucking,
boys.
Yeah,
And
1-0.
I think I'd be an okay corner man. Ice some eyes up, tell you to keep going.
That's my quarterman at the end of the first round. He's like, "You're smashing him. Just keep doing that." I'm like, "I can't. Like, I'm completely gassed."
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
it fucking kills you. Like, yeah, I remember being like, hitting a punch bag in the gym and going, I'm all right.
Yeah.
And then going and hitting like pads. And I'm like, why am I going to shit in pants? And the trainer was like, well, because the pad isn't, or the bag doesn't tell you when to hit it.
Right.
And I'm making you fucking punch for 3.5 minutes straight. It's intense. Like, but
And then you start sparring, and then you just and then fighting's a level above that.
Yeah.
But when you're sparring, it's funny because you're trying to go gentle, but all you need is like your opponent just to go one punch that's a bit heavier, and then you just your competitive instinct kicks in,
Get
and
the
then
fire in the
immediately,
eyes.
yeah, you
and
just
then
get a red mist. Like, fucking,
and suddenly like some gentle sparring turns into like almost proper fighting.
Right.
dude, the guy,
That's how cunts get broken noses.
the guy I fought last time was like, we were genuinely like, we'd stopped being serious about it. We were like, we'll have fun.
Yeah.
And like he came on my podcast and hosted my funeral on the podcast. It was fucking really good fun. And I remember the fight being like, so it's like, we come out of the corner and I'm like, right, it's been about 15 seconds and I'm trying to signal with my eyes like one of us is going to have to punch someone soon because these cunts are going to start booing. Right? And when I watched it back, it went ding ding round 1 and I just fucking I was just straight in. It was fucking
you were being
great.
a fucking gentleman. They're like, man, I've given him so long. I'm going to have to start this thing.
But like when you're on stage and there's no noise, you go, how long has that been? It's been 4 seconds, but it feels like an hour.
Yeah.
It's just that. I'm like, this has been too long. Fucking. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go back looking like a fucking gorilla. Back to Ireland. Just
Is that you've been training here? You've been
yeah, flat out. Like I've lost about 9 kilos since Christmas.
Shit.
Just
Holy
from like
shit.
Just not even from training that hard. I just stopped drinking.
Yeah. That's all you need to do. Just cut out the
turns
beers.
out,
Yeah.
Just walk a bit.
Well, like, you tried your little fast a few weeks ago. Hammer tried to do like a 3-day fast.
I saw that on Instagram. How'd that go?
It wasn't great, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that much better for doing it. I lost a couple of kilos, and I did feel good the day after it, but during it, people talk about all these feelings during it of increased concentration and stuff like that. I felt the opposite. All I could think about was, man, I could really go with some food.
Yeah.
It is.
So you did the 3 days, didn't you?
I got close. I did 69 hours.
That's plenty.
Yeah, I feel like that was.
But
enough.
like, here's the thing. Hammer's like, oh, it's supposed to increase concentration, all this shit. It was like, Hammer, you've got ADHD. You don't take meds for it, and you think you're just going to starve your way into focus. Oh, wait, so you guys both have ADHD.
I haven't been diagnosed, but I have all the symptoms.
the warning signs are there.
Yeah.
I've diagnosed myself.
Yeah, I've had one of those situations where I was given a Dexy at a party and just did emails, and I was like, oh fuck, I've got it. Like,
Just get emails.
That should be the test.
Guys, don't interrupt me. I'm trying to work here. Yeah.
can you turn the karaoke down, guys? I'm really trying to catch up on this admin.
Yeah, Mickey's after a bag. It must be tax time. Get that done.
You know, Aaron Gox has been talking to me about wanting to have a Aussie comedians like fight night and have like a bunch of different a whole card.
Wait, sorry, I'm not following. An Aussie comedians fight night?
Yeah, like,
what does that mean?
We'll get a whole bunch of comics and beat the shit out of each other.
No, we're going to need more explanation.
All right, okay. So what you get is, right, we're going to get mano y mano.
Wait, there's the Spanish guy? I didn't think Australia had a Spanish comic. What the hell?
It's two Spanish guys.
Spanish twins.
I was trying to think about who would be some good matchups, though.
What, Australian comedy? Well, I mean, I think Nick Cody would obviously be like a pretty good... And Ben Knight? I mean, Ben Knight is a fucking weapon.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone would want that.
Ben Knight looks like what I think I look like.
You look in the mirror, see Ben Knight?
First time I met him, I was just like, yep, same.
Yeah. Ben Knight is a unit.
Everyone's looking at you guys being like, man, are they brothers? Just like that movie
Mario,
Twins.
it's like Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, those guys are plumbers.
It's definitely worth doing though, because like when we did it, it was apart from like we raised good money for charity and shit, but the actual sort of team building thing in it was fucking sick. Like,
I mean, do you have to do it for charity? Can we just keep the cash?
do it for money, yeah. I reckon if you did
And
it
it's like, let's put the corporate in corporate fighting.
yeah. I reckon if we did it for money, it would have been a way more expensive ticket price and it would have been way better.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, it was like the prize at the end of the night. Yeah, but you versus Paddy. That's because like Paddy was my introduction to Northern Ireland. Have I told you this story?
I don't think so.
Because I did the Belfast Empire. Like I just kind of got randomly, when I was living in the UK, it was just like, hey Danny, you're doing the Belfast Empire, and I just had no concept of it, and I was like, sure, whatever. And then like I just turn up, hotel to the gig, and just like in this church, and I'm like just doing whatever shit I was doing in the UK at the time, and I asked, are there any? I kept calling everyone British because I was like, it's Northern Ireland. I don't want to say Irish because they might get upset. And then I come off stage after just like a weird set. Let's call it weird. And Paddy's just like, never do that again. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you called them British. And I'm like, aren't you? And he's like, no.
Yeah, Paddy's like, never do that again.
Yeah, he was really like, man, if you didn't have an Australian accent, there would have been like a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but I've seen that happen a few times. It's always the first spot in the Empire. Like, I genuinely think the first spot in the Empire is the hardest spot in comedy in the UK and Ireland, maybe even the world, because they always have a local MC that gets them kind of fired up with like just local shit.
Yeah.
And then it's always someone from London coming out because they've been sent over by an agency and they just haven't been there before, and it happens every time.
Yeah.
Like, you know what it's like when you're British and half the crowd are like, we'll see.
We'll fucking see about that. But yeah, it was just really funny. Just like, I remember I said any English people in pin drop silence. Pin drop, just throughout the whole room. And I'm
There's
like,
one cunt like,
yeah, I had a guy come up to me after the show and be like, I am English. Just whisper it just in case.
So what's the correct term to say? Northern Irish.
Northern Irish,
Yeah.
apparently.
yeah, I suppose that kind of covers all bases, yeah.
He's like, just get very specific. And I'm like, what if they're not Northern Irish? And like, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's not who you need to worry about in this room. The English person will be like, hey, address me properly. But like, that happens here, man. I had that in Sydney the other week. I had like a big table, like British people, no one from Northern Ireland, I checked.
Yeah.
But like I was saying British, and it was like this Welsh guy being like, oh, like, no, stop saying, well, like address me as Welsh, like address me as Scottish. And I'm like, man, you're in Australia, just, this is as specific as it's going to get. I know there's a difference. I've lived there. I've done it. I know consonants, fantastic. Like, keep it up. But, like they don't care, but they like get quite fiery.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, cunt, you're getting Bondi sunlight. Just cop it.
I think it's because people have figured out when they say British in different countries that they get no puss. Where if you say Scottish, Welsh, or Irish, people are like, all right, I'll fuck you.
Wait, is that real? That's awesome.
Dude, totally.
Wait, so British is no, because that
British is definitely
involves
no.
the English.
Yeah.
Really?
Being Irish in like America is like having a superpower.
I'm probably more likely to want to have a beer with them as well.
Yeah.
What if you say you're Welsh? I'm a Welshman.
Welsh, Scottish, Irish, but English. I'm like, oh, here we go, another whinging poem.
Really? Huh. All right, I've got to try it. Gonna start introducing myself as Welsh. Aren't you married? Shut up. Let's get a beer.
Let's get down to fucking business.
Yeah, because like that's actually a fair point. The Irish thing in America, like what? Why is that? Like Irish in America seems to be like so persuasive, like Irishness as like a thing, like Americans claiming it in a way that I find mental.
What's fucked is they don't laugh about it. Like,
what do you mean?
So I've been in New York and done a few gigs and made a joke about how they're not Irish, they're American, I'm fucking Irish.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey bro, you fucking better watch your fucking petty mouth. What? They're like, yeah. And you're like, dude, you're black. There's no fucking way you're black.
This is an impossibility. Yeah. Like they claim it. It's like, I'm Irish. And I'm like, I really doubt it.
Yeah.
You're drinking a fucking Budweiser, cunt. Like, what are we doing here? Like, yeah. You've gone States, haven't you?
I have, but only a couple of times, and I don't remember having any interactions with people claiming to be Irish.
But like they claim it in like a way where like I've been hanging out with Irish people in America and have American people being like, yeah, we get it. We're Irish. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah, I heard one guy refer to Ireland as the old country. I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure that's like Jerusalem or something. I don't think it's that old.
The old country, man, it's current. It's still around. Well. Let's fucking get into that. Let's go. Let's solve it in Perth. Which Tom Witcombe obviously wouldn't come to because it's west of Parramatta. You can't. Whitcombe coming out here. We got it. Mickey, if you want to get any shots in on Tom throughout the pod, just go for it.
No sweat. I'll think of something.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's important. It's crucial.
Just on the way home. Cunt. Oh, sorry.
Because I mean, we have tried to make this podcast bleedingly Sydney. Is Sydney the city you've come to most in Australia, or have you gone here more?
Yeah, pretty much Sydney most of the time. Yeah. I've been out here a bit because I'm dating a girl from Perth now, so I've been out here like 4 times this year.
That's so
it's
many
usually
times.
Sydney, like, yeah.
4 times in a year.
Yeah, man, I'm getting really good at sleeping on that flight.
I was going to say, I'm also dating a girl in Perth, and I thought it was a long-distance relationship from Sydney to Perth, and you're doing it from the other side of the world.
It kind of works out all right because the time difference is like when I'm going to sleep, she's getting up, so it's kind of like, all right, good night, and then you've got all day just to be yourself, and then you That's when we're together that it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I like that basically work hours, you're Micky Bartlett. 9 to 5, I'm me, baby.
Yeah.
And then after 5 p.m, fucking...
Yeah. What do you do all day? I just choke and masturbate and then get the demons out and then speak to you, baby.
Choke and masturbate. Yeah, the time difference thing, like, because your Sydney to Perth is a shit time difference. I'm trying to talk to my wife while I'm here, and it's a pain in the ass. 3 hours is a brutal time difference.
Yeah, man.
I think.
And it gets worse during this period because of daylight savings. They don't do daylight savings in Perth.
No.
So like half the year it's a 2-hour time difference, and then the other half it's 3.
And that extra hour.
Yeah.
Dude, the extra hour fucked. Yeah, because I forgot about that when our clocks went back in autumn. It went from a 7-hour difference to an 8-hour difference, and that 1 extra hour was like, oh, this is actually kind of. I have to stay up a little bit for this. Like, do you know the most fucked I've ever been from jet lag was the 1 hour time difference between Sydney and Brisbane?
See,
it's the most fucked I've ever been.
I'm similar. I find I can go on an overseas trip and the time difference is fine. I think because my body doesn't know where the fuck I am.
Yeah.
But trying to adjust between Perth and Sydney is much bigger issue.
But it's a total reset overseas, right? You're just like, I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on. You tell me the time and I'll start again.
Yeah.
Whereas like Perth, you're like, I don't know what the fucking time is, cunt.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you don't. Why are you hungry at 5 p.m. then? Huh? Tell me why. Tell me why you get up at 6. There's nothing on.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely.
Dude, I'm like, I've been like just off. Like just like this week, I've just like been a little off. Like I feel like it ages you as a person. Like, I feel like when I fly into Perth, I become a 70-year-old man.
Yeah.
Just way more racist than I would be. In Sydney, very progressive. In Perth, oh boy, do I fit in. Same Australia Day, flag on each cheek, man. Like, yeah, what's Invasion Day, loser? Which was your favourite election last year? Because like that, I found it crazy. Like, no one was here Australia Day weekend in Perth. Like, they like, because you probably have you. How many Australia Days have you been in Australia? Like, is it just recently?
It's this one. This is the first one. Yeah.
Okay, this is the first one. Because like Australia Day, honestly, 5 years ago, everyone's getting drunk, having the day off, listening to the music countdown, right? Like everyone. And then things have changed. And like East Coast, a lot of guilt, a lot of chilling, a lot of like, hey, let's keep it low key. And you come to Perth and you're expecting it to have happened here too. Nah. Yeah. They're like, fireworks, fucking boats on the water, let's go. Like, you know, it's fucking our day. Yeah.
I did a gig in Bunbury on the day before Australia Day, which is 2 hours south of Perth.
Australia Day, when most people do presents.
And yeah, because it was like the day before the long weekend, everyone, I thought it was going to be fine just driving to Bunbury. It was not. It was packed. The roads were packed. Everyone was getting out of town.
They go away for the weekend.
Yeah.
It's like amazing to me that like people live in Perth and then want to go away to a smaller town for a weekend.
It isn't quite as good.
I'm like, you're living in it. Yeah. This is already a little small town, mate.
I do think it's funny that like in WA, you go to small towns and even they have meth heads. You're like, that's insane. You don't get that anywhere else in the world. The drugs stay in the big cities.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got to stay up to utilize the 24-hour service station. Otherwise, it's wasted on them.
I know a guy, an English bloke that used to live in New Zealand, and he used to work like on these small remote islands, like off of New Zealand. And all those guys there, instead of drinking alcohol, they do meth. It was just like they just hang out after work and just do
less fattening.
It was cheap, and that was what they had around. And this is just like in small groups, like, hey boys, it's 5 o'clock. You want to have some meth?
Should I get a pipe for the table? I've been having a glass barbecue at mine this weekend. You coming around?
And then I was having some beers with him in the casino in Melbourne, and he got a phone call. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to go to this kick on just to party." And I'm like, "What are you doing there?" He's like, "Oh, we're just going to have the glass barbie." And I was like, "What?" It's like, firstly, it was only like 7 p.m, and secondly, I was like, "Nah, that's cocaine. Yes, meth, no."
Look at this classy individual. You just know some people went to private school, huh? Just feel it. Not a man of the people. Once your exotic South American substances there is what they're cooking in the Bunbury caravan not enough for you, mate.
No, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, I mean, I've been offered it in LA. That's the only time I've been offered. Like I just saw these guys that I was drinking with in a bar, and I went outside, and they were just like smoking it, and they were like, "Do you want some?" And I'm like, Nah.
It's nice to be offered though.
But I felt kind of cool because it was like crack, like not ice. You know, I'm a rap fan. I'm in.
I think I've taken it by accident, and I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, well, everyone's done that.
This is one of these. Yeah, it's one of these situations where I go, I don't know if that was. I went to a party once, and the guy who owned the party racked the lineup, and at the time I was going pretty heavy at it, and I was like, "Oh, delicious," and just like fucking snorted the whole thing. And I went, "What is this?" And he went, "Meth," and I went, "Oh fuck!"
It's always funny when you ask the question after you've already done it.
What was that?
Yeah, I once took a pill and just shouted Kobe.
Kobe,
what is that,
Jordan?
That's awesome.
I remember hanging out with this dude in Queenstown who was known as like the Iceman of Queenstown because he had originally gone to prison for a little while because his girlfriend had an overdose and he put her in the freezer to like just preserve her body.
That's a good nickname.
Yeah, and
but he had to eat all the ice cream, hence the Iceman.
Depending on what race his girlfriend was, Neapolitan.
This guy had this
fish food.
This guy, I think his name was Stephen Royds from memory.
Stephen Royds, the Iceman. Are you sure he's not a motivational speaker on Instagram? That guy has a TikTok.
He had this white hair. He looked like a wizard. He had this leopard print like jacket on, and for some reason I was in the bathrooms with him at some nightclub doing drugs, and it was like purple powder, and I'm like, what exactly is this? Is this MDMA or cocaine? And he goes, oh, it is and it isn't. And that was good enough for me.
To ask questions like that, you got to have a big white beard. Just get poetic.
Snorting purple powder with a wizard, and I was like, yeah, that's good enough for me. So I did it, and it was horrible. It was like, you know, when you just like sniff something and it just instantly hurts your nose, and then you don't get super high off it. You're like, oh, I don't know.
Just get confused. Sorry, speaking of good nicknames, this just reminded me. My father-in-law said this one casually, like it was nothing. They have a friend who is a lawyer who's very short, right? And they call him Mini Bar because he's a little barrister.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
That's great.
This guy's in his 70s. He's wasted.
Yeah. Like my dad used to work with a guy called Davy Beghorse. Just because he had a big ass. That was all I could think of. just big arse.
It's so annoying when like just someone gives you a shit nickname, but it gets laughs and then it just sticks forever for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Gay Rob. It's a guy I know.
Gay Rob?
Yeah. He's not gay. He just washes his hands once with soap.
Gay Rob.
Gay Rob.
Got him.
And once when I was at uni, we had a friend called Gay Face because I walked into the kitchen once and he went, "Your face is gay," and I went, "No, yours is." And then now he's Gay Face. He's in my phone as Gay for 20 years.
I like that you just flipped that immediately.
I couldn't believe how easily it worked. That was just Jedi mind tricked him.
That was one. That similar thing happened to me at high school. There was a guy known as it was called Applehead, and he pointed at me. He was like, "No, he's the Applehead." And then other guys were like, "Yeah, he's got the Applehead." So then I had like a whole bunch of my guys in my year calling me Applehead because this guy deflected it.
But you went up there with Applehead.
No, someone else called him that, and then he pointed at me, and he's like, "No, he's the Applehead."
Oh, he just passed it on.
Pass it on.
Like a +4 in Uno.
Pass it on.
That's brutal. Just send it down the line.
Yeah.
That's not part of the rules either. That's just colloquial stuff. That's not McCannon.
And it's stuck.
It's stuck, dude. Wait, the segue stitches here, I reckon. Mickey, so the part of the Sydney thing, and I'm sorry about this. We have to know what school you went to, mate. That's big. That's big Sydney chat.
I went to it's a school called Lismore Comprehensive.
Oof.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like the education was comprehensive.
Absolutely not.
It sounds like the student
co-ed?
body was.
Yeah.
Co-ed. All right.
Co-ed?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it was
Chicks.
a fucking huge, fucking chicks, dude. And walking on Gay Rob. But there was like, it was a pretty fucking rough school. Like, if you left without kids, people were like, "Well done."
Oh, wow.
Well done, you.
He doesn't have an education, but he doesn't have a dependent. So we're calling it a draw.
Have you ever gone to a school reunion?
Never, man. No, like, I mean, because I still sort of live in the town that I went to school in, so you'll always bump into someone. But I did once. I was out like drinking all day with my mate. We went into this one pub just for like fucking one more on the way home, and there was a 30th birthday, and it was just every cunt from school at it.
Wow.
And we were both like, "Thank fuck we're not with those guys," but also, why weren't we invited?
Still cut. Yeah.
It's covered in puke. Like, what the fuck?
Fuck, even K Rob's there.
So, are you still close with any of the guys you went to high school with?
A few of them, like just maybe one or two. Not really, kind of, because like after high school, I went to uni, and then I started doing stand up. And you know, when you start doing stand up, you go, "Oh, comedians are way more fun than civilians."
You went to uni from your school. Was everyone there like fucking la dee da?
No, it was like but maybe 10 of us all went to uni. But I was doing fucking drama when I went and did the arts, so I was getting Gay Robbo was like, "Who's fucking gay now, bro?"
Like, got him.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, smell cum, did you fart? What the fuck?"
Dude, for a gay dude, Rob is pretty homophobic.
Oh, dude, yeah, he hates himself. It's because of the Catholic guilt.
That's how they get you. Okay, so drama at uni. Like, was that also small town? Is that where you're from or no?
Yeah, well, I went to uni in Derry, which is like, it's kind of Northern Ireland's Perth. You know what I mean? It's like, it's all right.
See, I don't know anything, but that isn't a compliment. So I'm like, oh, it must be nice.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be.
The sun sets over the west, lovely. The beaches.
I think it's the suicide capital of Europe right now.
Oof.
Yeah, they've got 3 bridges and a big river. It's just asking for it.
Too many options.
Yeah.
Spoiled for choice.
Which bridge feels right for you?
There's one called the Peace Bridge, and that's become the new hotspot. You're like, that change the name. That should definitely be called
Bridge.
the Death Bridge. But yeah, it was good. It was a nice town. It was like I just hated being at uni because I wanted to do stand up and I didn't know how to tell anyone. So I just went, I'll just go do the gayest thing possible and maybe come out later.
I thought maybe Gay Robert had some advice for you.
Yeah. No one's like, get a job
first.
And then it was like, I tried to leave a bunch of times.
Tried to leave uni?
Yeah, fucking every week. Because like when I got there, I thought, this is going to be fun. It'll be some acting experience. It'll be a lot of practical stuff. Because that's how they sold it. And then on the first day, they were like, by the way, if you're here to like get stage experience, you're in the wrong place. And I was like, well, that's just cost me 16 grand. Thanks for the heads up.
Sneakies.
What do they mean by that? It's going to be a lot of theory.
And the theory side of it was just bullshit. Like you're just like, it's like they were teaching you how to become a fucking reviewer. You know what I mean? You're like, I don't give a fuck what the guy thought he was trying to say. This is what happened, and it was all right.
Do you remember any of the theory? Like, is there like a
fucking
thing?
None, dude. Like I didn't go in. Like I got invited back. This is fucking true. I got invited back as a guest lecturer, right? Because within a year of leaving uni, like finishing, started doing stand up and got on TV, and they were like, we can use this cunt as like an advert to get new students in.
Yeah.
Shit.
So they brought me in to give this talk. And I was teaching a stand-up class. Like I've been doing comedy a year. And like, this is how I do it. You just hope this isn't like the first time I had sex. Is this thing on? Any students in? And you're good to go.
So like, how do you structure an hour? And you're like, I'll let you know next year.
Yeah. Year after. I don't know. But I remember like meeting this guy, and one of the head lecturers was like, this is such and such. And I'm like, oh, cool. And he's like, the guy who wrote the book, the textbook you had for 3 years in this course. And I was like, fuck no.
As long as you don't ask me any specific questions about it, then yes.
I did. I found the book in the uni library. Instead of, it was like $200 to buy, I just photocopied it for 20 quid.
Nice. And
they were like, that's highly illegal. And I'm like, well, I didn't read it anyway.
If it makes you feel any better. I still didn't read it.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
Even at these bargain prices.
Yeah, under all the empty cans, your book is making a fucking big difference.
See, the theory part can kill your interest. That's why I was talking to Dan the other week. We were talking about how I used to just act as like a teenager and a young kid. I was a child star,
this is why he's wearing a backwards hat like Dennis the Menace.
But I didn't want to study acting at high school because I was like, studying the theory might kill my interest in it.
Yeah.
But then you rocked up thinking and not knowing what you were walking into.
Yeah, and it just like, I always found that for some reason they were always like, there's no right answer, but there was always a wrong one. You know what I mean? Like I was constantly fucking it up and just being like, and I remember at one point instead of doing like a dissertation, I did a one-man play. So I'd seen this guy he'd written the play or whatever. I'd seen it before I went to uni. And I was like, I'd like to do that because it was essentially stand-up. You just like, you're doing all these different fucking voices and characters and shit. And I was like, I'll blitz through that, no problem. And we had to do a discussion afterwards about the process of the fucking, like, what books we read that fucking helped us shape characters and shit like that. And I just sat there. It was supposed to be like an hour long. And within about 8 minutes, this lecturer just went, it feels like you just put a play on. And I went, yeah, but did you enjoy it? And they tried to like stop me getting a degree.
Fuck.
And genuinely, he was so pissed off. He was like, I don't even want him graduating. And one of the other lecturers was the guy who went, no, but he might get a bit famous compared to these cunts. So just give him a 2-1 and he'll fuck off.
Just want to hedge his bets, just on the off chance.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. They're like, look, the other guys were really good at the theory, but he put a play on. I don't know if you know how fame works. This might be our man.
But yeah, fuck it. It's the kind of thing where like I'm glad I did it, but also a complete fucking waste of money. Like, I don't know if there's any, like, I've never been to like a drama school, but I imagine they're better.
Oh, so this wasn't a drama school. This was a university with a drama course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine, but like I do have that thing in my head where it's like, have you seen that Louis C.K. bit on the talk show where he's talking about like inside the actor's studio and the actors like these aspiring actors asking a question to like, who is it? Is it like Dustin Hoffman or like Al Pacino? And it's like, how do I become? And it's like, you've asked the question, it's never going to happen. Like as soon as you do that, it's over. And it like smash cuts to Bradley Cooper asking Dustin Hoffman a question. And he's like, how'd you go back to that? And then it's the scene in American Hustle where he's humping Louis C.K.'s head. Fucking got him. So I'm like, maybe there's a possibility. But Bradley Cooper's also like, pretty hot.
Yeah, he's a pretty hot guy, definitely.
And he can sing. He's good.
Fuck yeah, I forgot about that actually. Yeah.
Triple threat. Good looking fella. My wife would.
So would Gay Rob.
Yeah.
So I always like. Do you ever see that documentary Dying Laughing?
Ooh, no.
It's a fucking good one. So it's just like just every fucking comedian you can think of, really, talking about eating shit on the road.
Yeah.
And there's a really nice part where I forget his fucking name. Oh, dude.
This is going to absolutely massacre the anecdote.
Dude, I swear to God, I can see it. Big Lips died. He was in Iron Man and shit. Oh.
Big Lips died.
The Larry Sanders Show. The Gary Shandling.
Gary Shandling.
Fucking Gary Shandling. There we go.
Yeah. I wouldn't have got that.
And he talks about like massive lips. That's all I can think when I see him.
He's got big lips.
Yeah, big ass lips. But
and he is dead.
Yeah, dead as shit.
Factual.
But there was a kid like saw him in a clothes store, and he was like, "How to become a comedian?" And Gary Shandling's like, "Oh, you just gotta get on stage and just do stand up." And he's like, "Yeah, but there must be a shortcut." And he's just like, "There isn't. Like, like you just gotta fucking eat shit, constantly until you're good at it."
Yeah, because people say that all the time. Like, oh, but like, what about? It's like just do it. Like, just do it. Like, there's no, it's Nike time. Fucking give it a bash,
that's it.
And then see what happens. And if you do it enough, you can be as famous as us.
That's why there's less women in comedy, because they're smarter. This isn't working. I might stop.
I maintain that, like, because men have less self-respect. So we'll put ourselves through horrific gigs, like horrible situations, and just be like, well, this is going great.
Yeah.
Like, there is also just like the personal safety factor, which
there's also
is
that.
real.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
Like, it's like I'm walking to a gig down the street with like a trolley just on its own. It's a shopping trolley just on the ground, and I'm like, I'll be fine. And then I'm like thinking about my wife doing that, and I'm like, no, what? Are you crazy?
Oh yeah, I won't let my girlfriend walk to the car. I'll wait outside the gig, and then I'll just walk into the car park and get a taxi home.
I think part of it's also like, now I've posted that on social media that I do comedy. It's too embarrassing now to stop. Like, it's like there's so much momentum there to suddenly be like, to give up on it is like the embarrassment factor just makes me continue to keep doing it.
There's so much momentum. Just now you post it on social media, everybody knows.
Everyone knows you're doing stand-up.
Aussie dude 333 would be so let down by you.
Did you hear Hamilton packed it in?
Yeah, you're on
Old
TikTok
school.
doing other people's jokes.
Old school Lenny would be upset.
He's packed it in.
Diana Ross fan.
Humiliating.
Do you can't believe Hamo gave up? They're all calling each
You
other.
fucking loser. He's done it.
The Chinese Communist Party talking internally.
Yeah, but he is selling this purple shit.
What is it? What is it? Purple shit. Oh man.
Yeah, I think the thing that always keeps me going is just like the last time I had a call center job. Where I just never again, just never that.
Just the flashbacks to the alternative.
Oh man, just like when it hits 11 on a digital clock and everyone just stops talking and you go,
Just a retch.
yeah, but fucking hell.
What work did you have to do with the call center?
I've done a bunch of them. One was like, one of them was, we basically had to phone people who were with British Telecom, like the fucking landline company, and upgrade their package, which was secretly a trap. So we were basically phoning pensioners in the middle of the day, being like, "It doesn't cost anything. We're just re-signing you up for 18 months." But at the end of the 18 months, they just get fucking raped, and we were like, not physically, just emotionally,
Financially,
and financially,
fiscally,
yeah. Fistally? Oh, okay.
Fistally. That's just an adverb we don't need. He made love to me fistally.
This week in Hungry Jack's, you fistally. But
it's the Aussie fistally. It's got pineapple and egg on it.
The invasion fistally.
Yeah, you feel bad after you do it, but you don't take it out.
So did you get commish on every old person that you conned
that
into
one
this?
was just a standard wage. But then there was another one where it was like it was fucking something to do with house insurance. And I had no idea what I was doing. Like, you get to the end of this training program and you go, yep. First call, I'm shitting myself. Like, if this guy says, yeah, I want this, I'm going to have to go, well, you can't have it because I don't know what it is.
I mean, let me call you back.
Yeah.
I got to call some other guy who tells me what this is.
And it was like, it was a bunch of cunts that thought they were Jordan Belfort. Like,
Oh,
Sell me
really?
this
yeah,
pen.
yeah. They'd make like $5 commission on every sale. And you, like, at best, you're getting 2 a week. But they're like, fucking 10 extra bucks, baby.
Just doing that McConaughey, like,
Yeah, man. The funniest thing that ever happened in it, right? And it is horrible, but it's just the environment the place was. So there was a chick that worked there, and she was quite good looking, but you could tell she was just dumb as fuck. Bless her, she was just thick.
must have really helped over the phone.
Yeah, right. She's like, I've got really big tits though.
Do you want insurance?
And she was like, she had a boyfriend, and on a Friday night, a bunch of guys went out for drinks after work, and she fucked one of the managers over the weekend, and was like, I've got a fucking boyfriend. I shouldn't have fucked him. And like, there was nothing weird about that. She just did it, and then didn't want anyone to know. And every week they would give us these nicknames on the board, right?
Oh no.
And they put her up as the company Inc. And I was like, that is fucking genius.
Fuck.
Jesus.
Yeah. She quit. Right. She quit, all upset.
Did the manager make commission on it, or?
The manager, he was one of those guys that would just turn up on Monday with his nose bleeding, like, and you're like, oh, you love this fucking call center shit, man. You're like, you love having a fob.
Dude, I just can't, like, I think I just couldn't see the big, like, I couldn't not see the big picture. You know, like those guys being like, I'm fucking crushing this. I'm a beast in this office. I'm the fucking king. I can sell you a pen. Ask me to sell you a pen. But it's like, you're selling insurance to idiots for no money.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't not see that. And I'd be like, where's the pace bridge again?
The worst fucking job, like, work experience I've ever had, right, was, I don't know if out here, did you guys have Netflix out here before it was a streaming service? Like, they would send you DVDs?
Yeah, the letter, they send you DVDs in the post. I don't know if we had it, but I think people know what it is.
Yeah. So I went for that. I was fucking broke, and I'd been doing comedy for a bit. I'd been on TV, and then I was like, fucking something's going to happen. Nothing happened, and I'm like, oh, fuck, all right. And I applied for this job, and I was really kind of like vague description of what the job is and shit. And I get there on the first day, and I hear people like in the fucking office giving that, and I'm like, all right, this is going to be all right. Go through this interview, and this chick's like, we think you're management material. We reckon you're... So I'm like in my parents' house. I go back home like, I'm fucking management material, baby. Right? Fuck stand up. I'm going to be a manager. Like, managing what? I don't know. So I get there for this. Like, we're going to do this full interview day, and this chick's like, right, so you're going to go get in the car with Jeff. He's going to take you to one of the other sites. And I'm like, fuck, this is a big company, man. What the fuck's going on? So we're driving towards this place, and I'm like, so what's the job, dude? And he goes, I don't want to tell you because you won't do it. And I'm like,
oh my God,
I'm like,
is ominous.
he's going to make me suck his dick. And I'm like, thankfully I went to Catholic school. And it was going door to door, like trying to get people to sign up to these fucking DVD. Like, they'll just send you a DVD for 3 days and you send it back kind of thing. So it's like blistering hot summertime. I'm walking around with this guy. And eventually he goes, where'd I know you from? And I'm like,
no.
I was like, oh man, I do stand up and shit. He was like, you're on that fucking panel show, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah. So for the rest of the day, I'd be like, bing bong, the door would open. He would go, do you know who that is? And people would go, no.
I was going to say, did that work once?
Oh, dude, it sucked. And I remember, like, I left my wallet in my car, so I couldn't get back. I had no money to get back. I just had to walk around with this guy all day like a fucking pervert Mormon. Like,
did anyone remotely want to have the DVDs?
No, because it had already started streaming. So it was just like...
It was just shit technology.
Yeah.
It was a
this
backward
guy,
step.
I remember at one point, I think someone did buy one, and he had this little dance on the doorstep, and he was like, I've made an extra fucking £20 this week. And I was like, I wanted to be like, say that out loud to yourself real quick and tell me you're not going to jump in the bath of the toaster. Like, that's fucking desperate. Like,
You know, but if you put, like, you know, electricity through a bathtub, you probably would have done a similar little dance. little jig as he roasts.
yeah, watch his electric meter go up like, oh, there's that £20 spent.
Dude, like, it's funny, I think, like, what keeps you going in, like, stand-up, like, and, you know, you got the memory of the other job. I just got this thing recently, we're trying to, like, find a house, and, like, everything is, like, online now, like, you know, in terms of, like, what's your rental history, your income, like, all this kind of stuff. And, like, just the sheer difficulty I have explaining to people where I've been, what I do, how I make money, like, just how long that takes. I'm just like, imagine a job interview. They're just like, what's your
Yeah.
experience? Well, I graduated university. Then you'll see this nice 11-year gap. Where have you been during that time? Different countries. You're like, what happened? Were you in prison? Like, what happened here? Like, there's just this gap.
Yeah.
And then you're like, now I'm normal again, though.
Yeah, why have you got so many receipts for the cheapest airlines ever? Do I talk about it? You spend a lot of time on buses? You autistic?
Why is your Uber rating so low? Well, when you catch them at 2 a.m. to the airport and you haven't slept the night before, you tend to say some things.
Yeah. Oh man, I was in Sydney last year. Got an Uber to going to the airport, panicking because I'm running late. And the Uber pulled up. The guy took one look at me and just drove on. I was like, all right.
That's fucking brutal.
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah. So check my rating is a 4.2. Please.
I got kicked out of an Uber with a mate like a year ago because we got in the car and he farted. And the Uber driver got offended. And he farted on the seat of his car. They just pulled over and goes, get out.
How that was a bad fart? Was it bad stuff? Was it going around?
I didn't smell, but it
Oh,
was
just
just
a
loud.
sound.
It was just a sound. And he was outraged.
Yeah. This is disgracing my Uber.
Yeah, get out. No,
What do you
I
think?
want-
This is a cab? Get out.
Yeah, that's one of my greatest fears. Is like, do you know those stories? It's happened. I've seen it a few times over the years, where a guy's like done a shit so bad they've just landed the plane. They're just like fucking everyone off.
Have you actually seen that happen?
Dude, there was one on the news recently where a guy like had the shits, went to the bathroom, didn't make it, shat himself, and then he's like running up and down the aisle trying to find a bathroom, leaving a trail of diarrhea behind him.
Oh my
and
God.
they're just like, we need to land the plane. That's then terrorists.
I took a shit on a coach one time.
Basketball and baseball.
But I'd had a pounder, so it was like, like a double quarter pounder.
Yeah.
If you get it with 4 patties.
It's a pounder.
It's a pounder. And I'd had a pounder, and then a couple of hours
Was there
later...
a reason you had a pounder? Was something going wrong in your life?
I think it was just a question of could I do it? And
I fucking bet you could.
yeah, I did.
You're one of the most motivated men I know.
You dare to dream, baby. And so I did it.
Like, with Hamo with eating, you could see his mouth just gets bigger than you'd think. Like you see him smile and you're like, that's probably how wide he goes. And you see him like with a pint, it's like,
But so I had the pounder, and then I took a shit on this bus, and I think it was one of those, like the toilet that was like they'd said at the start of the trip, like it was just supposed to be for pissing, when you take a shit in it. But I was like, it's no one's gonna know. I thought.
but no one's going to know.
I thought no one was gonna know, and then I came out, and everyone on the coach just turned around looking at me, like it just stunk out the whole bus. And I was like, "Fuck."
Did a pounder? That was the hate they felt. that door opened. They were like, why did it get warmer?
Yeah, made a mistake.
Dude, that just takes me back to like living in the UK, just circuit megabus.
Yeah.
Just the damage people are capable of doing to a coach that for some reason they put in the middle of the coach.
Yeah.
Put it at the front, put it at the back so someone can avoid this thing.
Yeah.
What? There's a toilet in the middle.
It's down the bottom at the
Yeah.
middle.
Oh wow.
So you come up the stairs like the champion, hands above the I did it.
I didn't die in there. Yeah, they're fucking rough. I've only done Megabus a couple of times.
Oh, you National
Yeah.
Express?
No, I'll just use because I was always coming from Belfast, so I'll just do like 2 days and fuck off home.
Dude, I lived on that shit. Like the Flixbus, like I'd catch that to Belgium. Like I'd catch
Fucking
a
hell,
bus
yeah.
from the UK to Europe. Like literally with people finding, their new home after fleeing a war-torn country. It was me and them. Being like,
Just
yeah,
you,
we were
you in your own t-shirt. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
we were persecuted in our own country for our beliefs. It's like, I just bombed in Brussels.
Yeah. My new stuff isn't working.
They're like, I hope my new stuff works. And I'm like, me too, brother. Me too. Oh, dude, it was so rough. But wait, we're 50 in. We got to get Mickey to do an ad read. We got to get you ad read, mate.
You got me to read it as well?
Yeah, you read it.
It's gonna be tough.
So,
All right.
So we
your
always
sales
write,
are going to plummet.
we write one for someone else, and Dan has written one for you.
yes,
Okay,
have you got it?
Did you send me it?
Oh yeah, I messaged it to you
Oh shit.
on chat. And don't worry, we'll get this bit out. Hammer, you're doing really well to not squeak, and I really hope the mic doesn't pick it up. but just as still as possible, baby.
I'm trying my best.
I put the twitchiest man in the world on a squeaky chair. Chaos.
Oh, I've just got it. Sweet.
You got it? Okay, so Flog Cabin, as always, brought to you by Pilot.
Hard made easy.
And actually, it's in the UK. Pilot's in the UK. I'm pretty sure you can do it. I haven't done the research, but I'm 99% sure because my mate's wife works them over there.
Look it up. Independent research.
But it's not pilot.co.uk. I looked that up. It's not that. I don't know the website, but this is an Australian pod. Mickey, you're doing great.
You ready, Rock?
Yeah,
Good stuff.
thanks, mate.
This is fucking beautiful.
All right.
Oh, you're not supposed to read ahead. Oh, you dog.
Just start reading it.
Sorry. Hello. I'm international comedian and local shagger, Micky Bartlett. Now, my show at this year's Perth Fringe... I can't even read. Now, my show at this year's Perth Fringe World might be called Thick, but let me tell you what isn't thick. My cock. That's right. After flying here from Northern Ireland, my dick still thinks it's on Greenwich Mean Time. There's nothing Belhard or Belfast about my erections in the Southern Hemisphere. Forget taking the top corner of a flag, I'm running half-mast. Lately, my schlong's less reliable than the Northern Ireland Assembly. Well done, if you know what I mean.
Thank you.
Right.
Good shit.
But lucky for me, I found Pilot, and now I'm chock-a-block faster than when I ordered gin and tonics on a Ryanair flight. Pilot, hard made easy.
The wink really sold it. For anyone who's not watching this thing on YouTube now, fucking get in.
Dude, that's that drama degree.
What was your
Paying for
motivation
itself.
for winking?
What are your actions?
There you go.
That was good.
Yep, $20 off with Flog is 20 at checkout.
Did they send you any free stuff?
You can't
What'd you-
technically get free stuff
Oh,
because
yeah.
it is a pharmaceutical.
Oh, I see.
Yes, so they can just give you a discount.
Oh, I got
But
you.
they can't give it away for free.
Yeah, sweet.
It's a real drug.
Yeah,
It's not purple.
I once took one of those drugs in an office I worked in. We were dead bored. A friend of mine was like, "Do you want to take some Viagra?" And I was like, "Yeah." And about an hour later, our boss came down and was like, "Can someone go upstairs and like sort through the mail?" And we were both just at our desk, like, "Nope."
So I've had it before, and it just you have to be stimulated for it to work.
I was like 22, so I was like,
Yeah.
all full of piss.
Stimulated by anything.
I mean, he was working with gay Rob. Oh, they were stimulated, baby. Every kind of stimulation available. The kind that doesn't get you into heaven. Because we've thought about this. All taking Pilot and doing the pod and just seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Because we're in our 30s now, so you got to assume someone would have to be pretty funny
Yeah.
to kick things off.
We're gonna get lappies on the pod. We're gonna have some kind of
Are
stimulation.
you abbreviating lap dance?
Yeah, you've never heard of the term lappies?
I just think we've got time.
No, we're short.
It's the same amount of syllables.
Lappies, lap dancers.
Yeah. Sorry.
I don't know if you know
Bye-bye,
this
guys.
bloke. He's busy.
Well, because otherwise it's a bit anticlimactic if we pop them, and then because we didn't simulate.
Any- Climactic.
Yeah, it'd be very climatic if you do pop them.
I was going to say, are we supposed to come? I think that'd make it weird.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
cool.
the
I'm
bit
cool
where
having an
we-
erection with the boys.
Have you
Obviously,
guys seen the Soggy Biscuit episode?
Sog cabin.
Sod cabin.
Dude, I didn't realize the wood was varnished. It isn't. What the fuck are you talking about? That's crazy. But yeah, I think we should live ep. Would we get complaints, or would the people get
I
it?
don't
Would
think
the
so.
floggers get around it?
You're going to have to put porn on a laptop or something just to play that game of fucking. A game
like who's
Russian
going
roulette.
first?
Do you know- Yeah.
I just thought it was like, does anyone get aroused on the pod? Is anyone like so stimulated by the pod that they're like popping one? And then we call them a pussy.
But it's
you
going to
know?
be one of those things that where you're like, if you take one, then you go, oh, the worst thing could happen right now is I get an erection. And then because you're a man, your dick's like, someone say erection? You're like, I'm in church, for fuck's sake.
You're just encouraging him.
So you think no stim?
I think no stim. And then like if it doesn't work, stim.
Okay.
I think we just keep adding layers of
Yeah.
difficulty.
So what does stim look like? Is it a porno? If so, if that's the case, what porno?
What porno? Why we start a porno? I think we should start like kind of soft.
Yeah, I understand that, but if we're going to get stimulation at some point, what is that?
Oh, and I meant metaphorically soft, not physically soft. Sorry. That That is, in fairness, confusing. That's ambiguous for me, and I apologize. You're like, yeah, we're starting soft, Dan, obviously. We're not getting erections, then taking Viagra and seeing if they go down. What is it, a fucking marathon?
Like
who's going to last?
Like when you drink while you're pissing.
Survivor Flog cabin, outlast, outwit. But no, like I think it should like start with like just watching cricket, you know, just something,
Yeah.
and then like slowly get more, you know, intense and see if it, you know, anything happens.
Sure. So what does getting more intense look like?
Well, I mean, obviously,
what
like
stimulation
you
are
know,
we
me doing stand up, that's pretty hot.
Yeah.
with the tracksuit on.
Get my blood going.
Then we can you know Tom Witcombe at the gym. Videos of Tom Witcombe at the gym. He's in good shape. He's probably at the gym now. He's always at the fucking gym.
Yep.
Never does anything.
I reckon you
Cares
could
about his
up it then
appearance.
like female cage fight on WWE.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be a bit of a fucking they're hurting each other, but cleavage.
They're also hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tits.
Yeah, and then just like rating the allegations against Vince McMahon, see what happens there.
Yeah.
Shitting on someone's head. Boys, don't look. It's like, look, obviously I kid, but like have you guys read that?
I actually have.
wild.
I meant to sit down and have a look at it, but what's he shat in someone's head?
Man, like he's been accused of sexual assault like
he
over
have a
and
pounder?
over,
and sex trafficking, like having like,
Sex
essentially
trafficking?
like a sex slave. His assistant, he was making have sex with like whoever he asked her to have sex with.
oh, all right.
Holy shit.
I didn't get that deep.
full
into
on.
it. Yeah, it's like
Do you think he's the only guy that thinks WWE's real? Then he just wrote that in.
no, it's not real sex. It's kayfabe. Go. Keep it up. But no, it's like clearly his like everything about him. He seems monstrous.
Yeah.
Like absolutely like monstrous. But then like he's like currently got like a puppet guy like kind of making the decisions at the company still after his step down. But like he took a shit on someone's head during a threesome. Why?
I mean, we need to get more information on the context. It might be easy to explain.
Yeah.
Maybe. Do you reckon it was his finisher? We doing
Steak
drugs
fist?
here, lads?
That's Rikishi.
Just really get into the wrestling thing. No, I just read that. And I was like, how does this guy just keep getting back into the... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's been so many of these allegations.
I mean, that
Like-
seems quite an extreme one. So
Yeah, surely this is the end. It has
Yeah.
to be. Like
That's
you can't...
fucked.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of a bunch of other wrestling nicknames like Bret the Shitman Hart. That's all I'm thinking. Sorry. The Heartbreak Skid.
Hulk Hogan?
Oh fuck! I was just going to say
Yes.
Just so many. We did it. We did it,
Yeah.
guys. We found the end of that joke.
Is everyone else trying to think of one more?
Of course.
You can hear it like.
I feel like I'm
No,
out, you know? Like there's that sometimes you just gotta...
Yeah, the
Have you guys ever...
underquicker? No,
You have that thing like where you play pool at the pub and like you do like an amazing shot and like you win the game and then people like play again and you're like, nah.
Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking mind? Like that is such a juvenile thing to be like, it's gonna happen to me again.
Yeah,
It's like, it's not.
I always think like bowling should be up until I get a strike and then it's just over. It's over. I got one.
That's the end of bowling for everybody. Not just today, as a sport.
Yeah, forever.
No one gets to bowl ever again. 10 pins will never be set up after Micky Bartlett gets a strike. It's over. Oh man. The dream. Wait, how about, did you have an invention? Speaking of a segue, Sitch.
Well, yeah. So when I was younger, I used to try and come up with. I was like, how am I going to make the big bucks? And I used to come up with bad inventions.
Right.
And one of them that I thought was going to be my big money earner was putting jokes on toilet paper. Right? We're going to have on each square of the toilet paper, we're going to have jokes
On every square.
on every square.
Not like every 5 squares?
Could have done that depending on how many jokes we could come up with.
How many sheets of toilet paper in a regular?
About 450.
All right. It's a lot. It's a lot of jokes.
Love that no one questioned that. I'm not 100% sure. You lean in, mate.
What supply? How many squares? These are questions I wasn't ready to answer.
Yeah.
But the brand was going to be called Crack Ups.
Because it's up your crack.
Yeah, it's up your crack.
And it's a
You crack
crack
up
up.
laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That's $1 million idea right there.
$1 million? You
$1 million.
think there's that much of a margin on this?
Big money and jokes on toilet paper. No one's done it.
Are you doing like a brand collab? Or are you just starting from scratch? You're getting the toilet paper factory?
Yeah, well, I mean, if I could call up Sorbent and just pitch them the idea and they'd be like, you know what? That's a winner.
Sorbent times Hamo.
Yeah. You know, I was at a pub one time and we were just joking about like...
Hey, you were at a pub one time?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
It's
Must have been a while ago.
I've been waiting to get this off my chest, boys. But we're talking about like our $1 million ideas, and then this woman goes, "I've got $1 million idea." It was just some random chick at the pub. And we're like, "Oh, what is it?" She goes, "I'm not telling you." I'm like,
but you know, when a girl,
that'll be a great joke for the toilet paper.
you know, when a woman has like $1 million idea, it's an actually $870,000 idea.
What about this one? So we all know about fortune cookies.
Wait, moving on from toilet paper already. You're just like, such a good idea.
Well,
beyond reproach.
This was in a similar vein. I was like, what if we take a twist on fortune cookies?
Yeah.
Misfortune cookies. Bum, bum, bum. And it's going to be
That's actually my drag name.
A very racist drag character. Makes everybody feel uncomfortable.
Do you do the eyes when you're doing the character?
Depends.
You ever seen Mr. Saigon? It's a spin-off to that. So, misfortune cookies. Go on.
So we
Is
would
it fortunes for ladies or is it an unfortunate event?
An unfortunate event.
So it's a lemony snicket.
Yeah, you're going to lose your job. Your wife hates you. You're going to get herpes, whatever it is.
In that order, unfortunately.
I'm under the bed. That'll be a good one. I was like afraid to go home.
I don't think we're so bored with fortune cookies. I think it's time to mix it up. People, it's like when you go to the pub now, instead of promoting trivia, they call it, in Sydney, they've got shit pub trivia. And I'm like, oh, it's shit pub trivia. It's bad. That sounds like something I'd want to check out because it's so shit.
Is it? So it's bad pub trivia, not questions about shit.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. But like, it's just, I love that they've promoted it so heavily. Like, it's, I've got to go to that because it's so shit.
See, I used to be a pub trivia host. That was my day job.
Yeah.
Fuck, really? Yeah.
And my pub trivia company's thing. It wasn't like mine, but I was like the Sydney manager.
Look out.
So
Quizmasters.
I was selling it door to door. I love that that's not untrue. Because as the manager, you'd have to sell it to pubs. So literally, I was going door to door being like, would you like some questions? Because I've got some answers. But yeah, it was called the least shit pub trivia. That was our slogan.
The least shit.
Yeah. And I love that you've seen shit pub trivia and been like, I'm going to call my festival show Shit Bloke.
Shit bloke.
You found it.
There we go.
Shit's a good angle.
Shit. People want to go see stuff that's shit.
Yeah.
So you
These
misfortune
days.
cookies.
It's ironic.
So it's like you crack open the fortune cookie at the end of an Asian meal, or is it
And
something
the end
else?
of an Asian meal. Yep.
No, nothing else.
Novelty events.
Novelty events? Go on. What's a novelty event, mate? What's an Asian themed novelty event? Good luck.
I don't think it has to be
Good luck, mate. Go
I don't think
on.
it has to be Asian themed.
Well, it's a fortune cookie. If I went to Italian and they brought out fortune cookies after, I'm like, I think I know what nationality the chef is.
That wasn't spaghetti, that was noodles.
Yeah, you ever had hockey and carbonara?
You ever had lasagna? Sorry.
I'm just thinking about. I was just thinking about that scene out of The Simpsons when like Homer is at like that candy convention and it's like the candy lips and it's like it's got 101 uses, and they're like, well, name them, and they're like, well, it's a funny substitute for your own lips. And they just keep going, and that's all he's got.
So you're saying is
fortune cookies could be for many purposes, but the only one we can think of is a Asian restaurant.
at the end of a Chinese restaurant,
Yeah.
sure. End of a Chinese meal.
Chinese meal.
And I like to think also at the end of a Chinese restaurant when they close down, they all open their misfortune cookies.
Oh, it was right.
Okay. So can we like expand it out? Like instead of horoscopes, it's horoscopes.
Horror.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be
Yeah.
good, actually, yeah.
Yeah. That works.
Yeah. I feel like Hammer. I'm not gonna lie. These are inventions. You bang on. But I don't know if you're aware of the legal concept that you can't patent an idea. You need to have an example of it in practice.
All right.
So you need to probably come up with one joke for toilet paper or misfortune cookie.
Yeah.
Because right now, it seems like you haven't done your homework. You're Micky Bartlett having put on a performance at university.
I think we're close. I think we're close. I think the main bits are there. We just need to come up with 450 jokes.
For exam, just one.
And then figure out how to print them onto toilet paper. Because, I mean, you don't see usually the colours on toilet paper is quite light.
White.
Like light blues, maybe like there'd be like a little shell or something or a flower printed into the flower.
You wouldn't just put black. Like white paper, black ink.
I don't know if that works on toilet paper or whether does it rub off when you crack? I don't know. These are
You
things.
think it could be like a newspaper fish and chip
Who knows?
situation?
Who knows? Well, this is toilet paper technology we need to research.
I think there's enough ply, brother. It'll be fine.
Maybe you have it in the second ply, so you have to kind of like and then you can recover it. Wipe. Next joke.
Well, I like to think that people would like be sitting on the crapper, enjoying the jokes, so they just like pumping through more paper, so it sells really well because people like just keep rolling it. They're sitting there being entertained.
And then your ad for it is Limp Bizkit's
Yeah.
rolling.
You know what? You could combine that with the misfortune cookies. If you go eat a load of Chinese food, then have the misfortune cookie. Then tomorrow you're going to shit loads because the Chinese food.
Yes.
I've got just the thing for you.
There we go.
So it's going to follow a misfortune cookie with a crack up. What was it, a crack up?
Crack ups.
Crack ups.
Crack ups. There we go.
How many ply are we talking? Is it embossed or is it just flat?
I don't know what embossed on toilet paper means.
Just like
The ridgy didge?
Yeah, the ridgy didge.
The ridgy didge? Bit of ridge?
I mean, I thought ridgy didge was authentic. Like, I thought that was slang for authentic.
Oh,
not
wow.
that has ridges.
Yeah, you guys have both lost me. What, Richie? What?
Ridgy didge is
Speak English, cunts.
Ridgy didge is some Australian slang, brother. I mean, like in the ad, you got chock a block, and I thought you were happy with that.
Oh yeah, well, I'm overweight. I knew what that was. That's a block of chalk, right?
I had a mate. Oh, actually, he wasn't even a mate. He's a guy I'd met once that invited me. He said he wanted to meet me at a pub. He was a friend of a friend, and I thought I'd humour him. He asked me to meet him at the pub to talk about a business idea. Right?
Little did he know, he was about to get a couple of good business ideas thrown back in his face.
And, so I just thought he can pitch me. So I met up with him, and I thought he was going to talk to me about the business idea that he had. But he goes, mate, I just thought we got along really well. I thought we could start our own business together. I'm like, okay, what's the business? And he's like, oh no, I thought we could come up with one together. And I'm like, what is this meeting? What is going on here? And I'm like, what do you do for work? He goes, I work in landscaping. I'm like, I don't know anything about landscaping. I'm like, maybe you should start a landscaping business that I'm not involved with. Like, I don't think you need me.
Just let that guy turn up like "Hello, dragons." Listen, hear me out.
He flips the whiteboard around. It's just the word idea with a bubble around it. What do you guys think?
I had to mess with my mate. I was like, dude, there's something wrong with him. He just completely wasted my time.
You completely wasted your time.
Yeah.
And your time's valuable.
Very valuable.
You're
I was
at
too
home
busy
trying
coming
to-
up with toilet paper ideas.
You're at home trying to write your first misfortune cookie. 2025 is going to be the year when a stranger wastes your time.
Yeah. How many O's and oops?
Oh man, we got it done. This could be the end.
We've had fun.
Yeah, it was a good laugh.
Have you had
Thanks
fun?
for having me. Yeah, had a great time.
you-
Got to see what a hotel looks like.
Yeah, it's weirdly apportioned.
Yeah.
There's like a bed and then heaps of space. It's like, hey man, you're gonna want to do some push-ups, right? It's like, nah, I'm good. I don't have any comedy boxing matches coming up.
Yeah, you want to do some one-man yoga lattes?
Oh yeah, fuck, I could yoga. I don't.
Yeah.
I look like if I said I did that, you'd all be like, yeah.
I did a bit of yoga during but it was DDP yoga, you know, like the wrestler guy.
Diamond Dallas
Diamond
Page.
Dallas Page.
Yeah. Did some of that during lockdown. It's fucking good shit.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
But don't anymore. I mean,
We
we should have ended when you said, you know.
No, I mean I like DDP yoga. It's like Downward Dog Page.
There we go.
He's got to figure it out.
There we go.
Mickey, what other shows you got in Australia? The Floggers might come see you.
Good question. I'm in Adelaide in March, and then I'm doing like Newcastle Comedy Festival or Newcastle Fringe at some point in March also. I haven't looked at my diary, but I'm here until the end of May. So follow me on Instagram.
Where could they potentially find you?
Just Instagram, Micky Bartlett.
Done. No E in Mickey, because
No
I
E in
kept
Mickey.
putting the E in Mickey, and I kept fucking it up.
Yeah, it's a
And
long
I
story.
apologize.
It's all right.
So it's okay.
It's because it's silent. I just don't see the point.
Yeah. So yeah, because you're at Melbourne
Yeah,
Comedy Festival, and you're at Sydney Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
Because most of the floggers we believe are in Sydney. We haven't checked, but you would assume.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
Because
well,
as you can tell, this podcast is hugely about Sydney, as today's episode proved. Huge amount of Sydney chat. Sydney banner. You've been to Sydney a few times. What's your favourite part of Sydney?
Oh man, it's just about the people.
if you guys could hear the insincere eye contact after that, you'd be like, that was not a waste of 16 grand. That was perfect.
I like the
We're going to
bridge.
talk about. We're going to get drunk for Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Will this come out? Well, there's 2 episodes before Super Bowl. We are going to do Super Bowl. Location TBD. But Hamo and I
We'll
will
be out in
absolutely...
Sydney somewhere.
Yeah, there can be a Flog, cabin, Super Bowl, extravaganza. We'll just be there drinking. Don't expect a lot. Expect less than when Hamo pitches you an idea.
Strap yourself in. There'll be more coming in the future.
Yes, but we will actually do something proper at some point. But this is just us drinking during the Super Bowl.
And
you can see Hamo get excited as a 49ers fan.
Yes.
And me get upset at both teams being in the Super Bowl. I was deeply disappointed by the Lions. Dan Campbell fucked it with the clock management. Not important. We don't need to get into this now. We don't need to get into like a deep NFL chat now. But I'm thinking about
people listening. What is this pod?
Yeah. I'm like, I've just learned about rugby. You're going to talk about this shit?
And I don't mean to break this to you, Mickey, but NFL is very Protestant. deeply Protestant. If you think rugby is
they
holy
wear
shit.
helmets.
Yeah, and probably a bit Mormon too. Not as Mormon as rugby league though. Let's be fair. Polynesians, but anyway. No, just like I was thinking about the thing because the clock management in the Super Bowl, just before the pod, I took a shit in the hotel lobby, even though I'm staying at the hotel. And I feel like if you ever take a shit in a hotel lobby, it is just bad clock management. Because everyone who sees you take a shit in a hotel lobby expects you to then leave the hotel. You just needed a toilet. But then you just go upstairs to your room.
Yeah.
And you're like, either that was horrific or he just did not manage his time.
The only
well.
time your time is managed more poorly is if you're halfway through a threesome and you think, I need a shit. But I'm Vince McMahon, so fuck it.
It's all staged anyway. All right. Thanks for joining us in the cabin in Perth, the westernmost cabin we've ever had. It is.
It's just a weird thing to point out. Our most westernmost cabin. Mickey, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
No,
Cheers.
it's been fun.
We're on YouTube now. You can watch episodes on YouTube. They're supposed to go up every Sunday, and they don't, but they will in future. Currently, they just go up sometimes.
Yeah.
And you might be thinking, why would you want to sit and watch a video of this? Some people do.
Some people do.
Some people love it.
And they point out that I'm twitchy, and I'm upset about it. Like, why does Muggleton keep icing the camera? And I'm like, I just want to engage her at home. Flog Cabin on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Hamo, for the love of God. Check the Dodgems. End it.
Bye.